the Great Wagon Road runs right through Lancaster County from Camden up to Salisbury. Because of the fact the Great Wagon Road is here, this is where the Scotch-Irish settlers settled, but it's also where so many events happened during the American Revolution. There were two major battles in Lancaster County and two major battles in Kershaw County, just south of us here, along the Great Wagon Road. So in our county here in Lancaster County, we've got the Battle of Hanging Rock, and we've got Buford's Massacre, or Buford's Defeat, which is a program we put on a program there. It was the Friends of Buford's Massacre and the Museum of the Waxhaws put on a program this past year, and we'll be doing it again next year, recreating the Battle of Buford's Massacre. And that was an important psychological turning point in the revolution in the backcountry of South Carolina. Charleston had fallen in May of 1780, and as a result, the British thought that they were pretty well in control of South Carolina. But what they didn't realize was that as a result of Buford's Massacre, Colonel Abraham Buford from Virginia was on his way to Charleston to reinforce the garrison there when it fell, and he turned around and headed back toward Salisbury. And Colonel Bannister Tarleton of the British Green Dragoons caught up with him at Buford, at what is now the site of Buford's Massacre, and in the resulting battle there, the Buford and his men were basically slaughtered, either killed, wounded, or captured. A few got away, but not very many. But it created the psychological the reason I'm apologizing is I see my wife and grandchildren walking up behind you. The psychological impact in the backcountry of the South was here and the fact that the Scotch-Irish, who never liked the British anyway, really wanted to rise up against the British. And so it was sort of the linchpin in changing the attitude of the Scotch-Irish here in the backcountry to being actively anti-British. 1774, the dividing line between North and South Carolina was certainly uncertain, and this area was thought to be in North Carolina, but when they got to looking at the survey, they realized it really was South Carolina. And so this area was given, this northern Lancaster County, Cherokee County, York County, part of Cherokee, part of Chester, were given to South Carolina by North Carolina to make up for the era in the dividing line between North and South Carolina that had been started back in the late 1600s and then expanded as we moved west. Anyway, so this area was given to South Carolina, and it was referred to as the New Acquisition, and this was the New Acquisition District. Well, all the deeds and stuff were recorded in North Carolina, and a lot of the people that lived here had to rush down to Charleston in order to get their land patented in South Carolina. And the New Acquisition Militia was formed sort of as a police force to make sure that nobody came in and took anybody's farm away from them. And so by 1775, like most places in the country, there was a local militia, and it was called the New Acquisition Militia. And we were founded about, this modern group was founded about, I think this is our 26th year, I'm not certain about that, but it was founded at Bratonsville, and we are just a bunch of men and women who are interested in colonial era history and the history of this area, and we go to historic sites around here, Museum of the Waxhaws, Bratonsville, Andrew Jackson State Park, Cow Pens, Kings Mountain, Camden, all of the battlefields and historic sites around here. We volunteer putting on programs for the public. We're actually a 503c3 education under the IRS rulings. And so that's our purpose, is to educate people about the American Revolution, about colonial history, about the way people lived, about the things that they faced. This area was very popular as a settlement because the Catawba Indians were here. And the Catawbas were the deadly enemies of the Cherokee, and the Cherokee were prone to attack settlers, but they didn't attack in this area because they were so terrified of the Catawbas. So this was a good, safe place to live because the Catawbas liked the settlers and protected them.